Hey, what's happening? You're watching Toonami TV, back with another Newcastle United video. This time we're going to be reacting to Newcastle United 2, Leicester City 1. Apologies that it's been a while since I last uploaded a video to this channel just due to living a busy life. I am joined by my girlfriend Joanna. Say hello.
Hello.
And we're here to react to the game this afternoon. And I have to say it was a really interesting match actually in terms of how it all panned out. The 3 points are huge in the grand scheme of things because not only was it a vital 3 points in a game which, as said, neither side deserved 3 points, but it's 3 points that has basically kept us in the Premier League for another season. Not mathematically, but we'll talk about the table towards the end of the video. Now, in terms of the actual game itself, we're going to talk about it in segments. So we'll talk about the first half. So, Joanna, in my opinion, I think the first 20 minutes, it was all Leicester. I think we didn't really get started. We looked like the side that had played 2 games since our last game against Wolves. Leicester obviously playing Crystal Palace and PSV. We started very slow. We were giving the ball away very cheaply in areas where we shouldn't have been, and Leicester, started off really well, keeping the possession, as they should, but we were punished, for making basic sloppy errors. What do you make of the first, 15-20 minutes?
Well, I thought the first 15-20 minutes was a bit slow. Like, I thought that the lads just sat back, ball watched. It wasn't until like the first attempt to the Leicester's goal, that's when I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to have to start picking up a bit. And I think from then they started getting a bit more into the game. They did give away some chances quite easily, and yeah, I just thought it was quite slow. And I think for the first 20 minutes, I think the atmosphere of the stadium was a bit quiet as well. Like, it wasn't until Dubravka got the fans going up again, that's where I think the lads more like really picked it up, the game.
Yeah, so I know what you mean. It took us to go behind to really start picking things up. Leicester, were given a corner, and from that corner, we're quite good, at defending set pieces, but on this occasion, we were too slow to react. It was a short pass into one of their players. He flicked it, and Lookman was unmarked, and he just smashes it first time, into the back of the net. Dubravka, gets some sort of contact on the ball, and it's just too strong for him, and it's in the back of the net. For me, I think it's a poor goal to concede. I think we're defensively all over the place. We're not switched on, and Lookman should not have all that space in the world in the penalty box to not have a go there. He should be marked. He should be picked up, and he'll never score an easier goal all season. If I'm nitpicking, I think Dubravka could probably react and do a little bit better there. He could potentially, try and keep that out. But then again, you look at the defenders as well. Can they react quicker? Yes, they can. So in terms of Leicester's goal, do you think I'm right? Do you think there was just errors all round?
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think, me personally, I don't think the defence was as strong, even though it did look it in the game, but when you look back, to me, it looked like the defence could have been stronger. It was all on Dubravka, and as they say, the ball was too strong, and it obviously deflected, and obviously that's when the goal happened. And I don't blame Dubravka. He tried his best, and that's all he can ever do. It's down to the defence. That's what they're there for, to support him. And in that moment in time, it just sort of slacked. Like, to me, they looked like the players had forgot where the ball was. They couldn't see it, because where we were sitting, it was like Gallagher. I couldn't see where the ball went. It wasn't until everybody else was jumping up that I was like, oh yeah, they've scored a goal. I was like, oh gosh.
This Leicester.
Yeah.
Yeah, as said, maybe I'm nitpicking for Dubravka, but then again, I'm sure Eddie Howe would pick that up, that he probably has got to react a lot quicker there. But then again, yeah, you do have to look at the defence. But then again, we get what we deserve for starting very slowly, for that first 15-20 minutes. And if you start slowly against clubs like Leicester who have decent players, then you're going to get punished. And did you not sense the minute Leicester went 1-0 up that it was going to be a long afternoon?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So, yeah, go on.
Very long.
Yeah, as said, I was looking at the squad I was looking at our lads and thinking, do you know what? Can we forget about it that we've conceded and use the crowd as a way in which we can be united and get back into the game? Put a bit of pressure, on Leicester. As said, and Eddie Howe did mention it in his press conference at the end that yes, we did, give Leicester a lot of the ball, and they did, and we did give them maybe a bit too much respect, and we did defend well up until that point. But as said, we had to, we had to give them a game of football in a way that we had to, try and, do something about it. As said, we started to up the tempo the minute we went 1-0 down. Dubravka, as you mentioned, did start to G up the crowd to try and get we're back on side, and that's good, because obviously Dubravka does believe in our fan base, and I'm sure the players do, and we have always been the 12th man. But anyway, on 31 minutes, Newcastle do equalise through Bruno Guimaraes. He scored his second goal in Newcastle shirt, his first one being against Southampton. And funny enough, it comes from a set piece, a corner. So the ball is put into the box, and it's sort of nodded down, if you like. And Bruno Guimaraes, he stabs the ball, towards Kasper Schmeichel. It's kind of gone under his legs. He's got no control on the ball whatsoever, and he hasn't even got a hold of it. And Guimaraes takes another stab at it, and it goes into the back of the net. It's 1-1, and obviously Kasper Schmeichel is appealing for it. It does go to a VAR check for a foul. It wasn't, and obviously the referee went to go and check on the monitor, and I think that's a good decision. It's not just being dealt based on Stockley Park. Stockley Park is the control centre, and sometimes they do make decisions, but I'm glad that the referee was allowed to go over to the monitor and have a look for himself, and the goal was given 1-1. What did you make of the goal, and what did you think of the decision in the end to give it?
I think the goal was, as he said, was legitimate. So Bruno was right. Like Bruno and the referee agreed that was given a goal. It's actually a very rare occasion that we've got a VAR check, because last previous games they were never been given. So I'm quite happy that the referee did go and have a look, and it wasn't until reflecting back on the game we've actually says yeah, because Michael did try and say that was a foul, and all us fans knew straight away that was not a foul. He didn't have his hands on the ball. He did originally stop it, but he dropped it, and he just kicked it in straight
I just think it's a howler by Schmeichel. I think he's made a big mistake. For a keeper of his quality, he should be doing a lot better. But as said, it's a good reaction from our lads, and as said, the first half was scrappy. It's kind of how the game went, in terms of the full 90 minutes. I'm glad the goal stood. I said this in the Gallagher. Obviously, we were at the other end of the stadium, but I said it's a goal. Like there's no way that that goal can't stand, because by the looks of it, the keeper's made a howler. They've obviously gone to the monitor and checked it, and it's a goal. And as said, VAR has gone, in our favour. It did actually last week against Wolves, but in previous games, I know what you're saying, it hasn't previously. But it kind of livened up the crowd up until about half time. Then obviously went quiet. Second half, you're probably expecting a little bit more from the lads. We've got it to 1-1, and I'll be honest, I thought the second half was flat. I thought it was very quiet. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they started off the second half quiet. Like they were just watching the ball again, ball watching. And to me, it came across the past tactics with under who should not be named. It went back to that, but
too sloppy. Like giving the ball away.
Yeah. It wasn't until say 15 minutes in the second half that's when we got the possession of the ball, and that's when I think
last 15 minutes when they started to play. Because I thought, I said, we might have dictated the ball a bit more. I was expecting Leicester to have, their part to play, because we know that they've got quality. But I was kind of expecting that maybe we'd take the initiative after, getting it back to 1-1. I was expecting that would, start testing Schmeichel a bit more, because he made that howler in the first half. But again, I don't think we've tested him anywhere near enough. And even for Leicester, in a way, I thought they were very poor on the afternoon. I think, when they had the ball, again, like Newcastle, they didn't do a lot with it. And it was obviously going to peter out for a 1-1 draw. Eddie Howe did make his substitutions. Obviously, the first one, Chris Wood was taken off and Joe Willock was on. Do you think that was a good move? I mean, what did you make of Chris Wood today? I mean, I think at times in that game today, he got some unnecessary criticism. Like, they were basically saying, oh, he's this, he's that. But to be honest with you, his style of play doesn't suit how we play. And I don't think he gets enough service. I don't think it was that type of game where, you know, we had a lot of the ball and we didn't give him the service. But what do you make of Chris Wood?
I do actually like Chris Wood.
Same.
Like, I do think, he's still quite new to the team. It's been how long now?
He's been here about 4 months.
Still 4 months. It's still not enough to fully know
How he's going to adapt.
Play. How long was he at Burnley for?
He was at Burnley a good 3-4 years.
So 3-4 years to compare to 4 months. Take 3-4 years, he's going to know that team inside and out. 4 months into this new team, he's still learning. It's like getting a new job, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I personally like Chris Wood. I think the new signings, not just Chris Wood, they've brought the oomph to the team. Like, they've given the other team members
He's brought a lot of the side, hasn't he? In terms of, like, if you actually give him some service, he does actually score, because he proved it against Wolves. Like, he was puffed through, and then obviously he was wiped out by the keeper. But he was given the penalty, he scores. I mean, to be honest, yes, he had a quiet game, and sometimes, yes, he has to run the channels a bit quicker. But at the end of the day, like, if you don't have the possession, then what more can you do? Do you know what I mean? It's the same. It's the same on Joe Linton as well. Like, it's the same with Callum Wilson. At times, if you don't give him the service, you're not going to score.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, it wasn't just down to Chris Wood. I think a lot of the players today, yes, as much as they played well in parts, a lot of the players today, were a bit slow, a bit quiet.
Like sloppy passes.
Sloppy, just
stood and watched the ball. Where there's been times where they could have pressed him a lot more, and they just stood there, like, oh, I should have got that ball, kind of thing. No, but I totally agree. Like, Chris Wood needs more service. If he should be, what he should be doing, he should be getting more service, and then we could get more goals.
I think it was the right decision to bring Willock on, because the lad is only young, but he's got a lot of pace as well. Like, he obviously drives you forward. And I think Eddie Howe was trying to play safe as well. Obviously, it's 1-1. You don't want to be losing the game, especially at this late stage of the season. And I felt like, taking Chris Wood off, I can kind of understand it to a degree, but I maybe would have done something different. But listen, it doesn't matter. We've managed to get the result. I thought Willock actually played quite well when he was on. I think he livened up the team, and obviously he was the main reason why.
It's like a fresh pair of legs, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think he was one of the. Well, I think he was the reason why we've got the result that we've got right now, which we'll talk about later on. He then obviously. Well, again, the game was still like very stop-start. There was you were saying about the referee as well. The referee could have been a bit better on part at certain decisions and stuff.
Yeah, there was. I definitely think there could have been a bit more like fouls given towards us. What really shocked me was at the beginning, where I thought, yes, it wasn't any of the fault. It's when Dubravka went flying over Chris Wood. I was like, then I was saying here in half time, like, we literally thought it was going to be like a stretcher moment, because...
Oh, do you mean Dubravka and Dan Burn?
Dan Burn, not Chris Wood, sorry.
To be fair, that was more of a coming together than anything. I think it was a bit more panic from Dubravka.
I thought the referee would have been a bit more strict with that, because that could have been a serious injury, but
concussion.
But there was other times where some of our players fell, and they just laid there, and it was like it should have been a clear foul, got pushed, and they just let it go through. But as soon as Leicester player went down,
different story.
It's like other games.
You got to remember, it's the Premier League, and the referees they don't have a good relationship with us and the fan base.
No,
but as I said, the game again was peaking out towards a 1-1. I say Eddie Howe was playing it safe. I think he was. I think he would have taken a draw at the end of this game. I think we all did. I was actually setting it at the start of the game. As I said, that was halfway through. Chris Wood goes off for Joe Willock. Eddie Howe then makes a double substitution, and Jacob Murphy is on as well. And who goes off? Jacob Murphy, and then Almiron goes off. I thought Almiron actually played quite well today.
I think he did play really well, because he hadn't played the last couple of games, has he?
But he played against Wolves. I thought he played. He was quite lively. Listen, don't get us wrong. He hasn't got the best end product in the world, but the guy runs around. He makes an impact, or he tries to. And I felt today, I think he did make a bit of an impact, on the team today. And I said it's just service. That's all it is. Obviously, Jacob Murphy, will know what he's about, how he cuts in and stuff, and he tries to make something happen. But yeah, I said it was going in towards the 90th minute, and St. Maximin was brought off for Dwight Gale with only 4 minutes to go. What did you make of that? I mean, Dwight Gale, we know he's not had a lot of games this season. We know St Maximin obviously needs to be rested for the Palace game. Do you not think Eddie Howe needs to make that substitution a little bit earlier? Like, I think he should have been brought on around the 75th, 80th minute, because Dwight Gale, we know he's got pace, but we know he's not going to be here next season, but you still might as well try and make use of him to try and maybe boost his price tag and get him sold. What did you make of that substitution as a whole? Like, do you think it was the right one?
I think it was the right one, but I do agree with you about the timings. He could have bung on in the 75th minute, give him good 15-20 minutes left of the game. He's another one that can play the ball forward. As a new person that's getting used to the season and not knowing the players as well, I don't know Dwight Gale that well, because obviously
Dwight Gale's been here a while. He's just fallen out of favour at the club.
Yeah, he's not really played a lot of games that I've watched, so I don't know him as a player. But I do think he needs to get more credit, like more time on the pitch, so
because Eddie Howe
build his skills up that way as well.
Eddie Howe says that he trains really well on the training ground, and that's all good to hear. So you think, well, why don't you just give him a game?
Exactly,
like give him at least half an hour, something like that.
To show the fans, not him, show the fans how much he's improved from the Steve Bruce era to the Eddie Howe, and then we can see the difference, and then that might help him if he does leave the team. Probably will, because
at the end of the season he'll go definitely 100%.
It'll give him a chance to shine to other
clubs if they want to pay for him, because
he's not getting game time. He's not going to show his skills, really, is he?
He'll definitely drop down a division into the Championship and he'll do a job. Obviously you've only been watching Newcastle from this season, but you've learned a lot. But I agree. I think we should have brought St Maximin off a little bit earlier if that was the case. It was definitely the right sub, but I think Dwight Gale definitely deserved a lot more game time than what he got today. But I think he actually made an impact in that last 4 minutes. He brings a lot of pace into the side. We look like we were a bit more positive. I felt like at one point we were both just going to hold on, both Newcastle and Leicester. But then, in the 90, people say it was the 94th plus...
Within the last minute or something, or last 30 seconds, I would say.
I think it was a good 20 seconds. It was literally the last kick of the game. Joe Willocker, he picks up the ball and he just basically drives. And as I said, he puts a good ball in. Obviously, it takes a deflection off their number 18, I believe. And you see big Bruno there leap, and he literally heads it into the back of the net, and you can see me, behind the goal, going absolutely mental, like, yes, Bruno.
He was, trust us.
Bruno, you absolute Brazilian magician, so brilliant. Honestly, it was a great header, though. You know what I mean? I'm thinking it's pinpoint. Obviously, it's courtesy of a deflection, but it doesn't matter. Like, you know what? How many times have I watched Newcastle this season and seasons gone by where it's been a bit of a scrappy game and we've lost it towards the end, and today we've got on the right end of it. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Leicester fans will be gutted, but listen, we're at home. We've got to win with home games.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how poor we've played. We've managed to hold it at 1-1, and we've managed to I say rescue. It's not even a rescue mission. It's basically we've managed to pick up the 3 points, which looked so unlikely throughout the game. What did you make of the break from Willock, the ball in the goal by Bruno? His second one of the day, and his 30th one.
I thought that was the most what's the word? Not impressive. The most important pass of the game, I would say.
Passage of play.
Yeah. That if it wasn't because of that ball would have went just to the keeper, as you said. The keeper would have just kicked it, and it would have just been at the other side of the pitch, and then the whistle would have went. But because of that, Bruno was able to touch the ball and head it in the right place, and that's what got the results.
Yeah, I think I said for the goal, obviously it's hit the crossbar, and Schmeichel's not knowing where it's gone, and he's probably thinking, it's gone out for a goal kick. But at the end of the day, I say the crossbar, so he's took a deflection, and it's obviously Bruno's got to be in the right place at the right time. He's taken no chances. He's just gone for it, and it's gone into the back of the net. And I think the lad deserves it, because I felt like today Bruno controlled the midfield.
I think so too.
I feel like he done the defensive work well. And he was just positive in his play, like even from his first goal when he was trying to stab it in, past Michael, like he was making mistakes, and then obviously he's made another blunder, I would say, for his position in Michael, and obviously Bruno's in the right place at the right time to score. I think he's going to be a special player for us.
I think so too. Like, I think it's been one of the best signings we've had this season, and I'm glad that Eddie's now given more of the game. He's getting played from the minute it goes. When he first started the team, he was getting 5 minutes, like what he did for Dwight Gale. He was getting 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here.
Yeah, it took a while, didn't it?
It took him a while, but I think it's because, yes, he was a new side and you had to get to know the thing, but how are they going to know how he plays until he gets a full game? And I think his confidence has grown since his very first goal for Newcastle.
Do you not think as well he's developed a very good relationship for the fans and the city and stuff? And he's mentioned that today as well. I mean, last week he was lifting the fan up in the air, and today he's
top, wasn't he?
He's really struck that love connection with the fans. And I said I don't know about you, but I felt like today he was the man of the match, just the way in which he played.
I think, definitely him is the man of the match, because without him, we would have scored those 2 goals, if you think about it.
It's perseverance, that's the way I see those both goals, because at the end of the day, the first one I said, he's trying his best to put it in, and he puts it in, he gets a slice of fortune, obviously Schmeichel not touching it, and then obviously with a winning goal, with about 20, 30, something like whatever it was, he's in the right place at the right time to put it past Schmeichel. Obviously he's not saving it, and it's just the way he celebrates it. I feel like he's really starting to learn and love the Premier League and love obviously Newcastle as a football club, and I feel like he's only going to get better.
I do agree. I've just got a question for you.
Go on then.
So we've had a winning streak before. Do you think this could be the winning streak again? We've won the last Wolves. We won Wolves. We beat Leicester. We've got Aston Villa on Wednesday.
Crystal Palace,
sorry.
We've got above Aston Villa, that's where you got that from.
Yeah. Crystal Palace, and then you've got
Norwich.
and then Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think we'll be winning?
Ooh, good question. I hope so. I mean, obviously we've gone 9 games unbeaten, and then obviously we lost the last 3. Obviously within that run we had 4 away games. That was always going to be tough, but to see how the lads have responded in the last 2 home games gives us more food for thought. Like, don't get us wrong, I don't think we were great against Wolves or against Leicester today, but you've got to find a way to win.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they've done today. You've got to win by hook or by crook, if that's the saying. And we've come away with 6 points. You know, if you'd asked me Wolves and Leicester, I probably would have said 4 points. You know, maybe it's a draw today. We beat Wolves previously. I don't see why we can't. Crystal Palace for me is a winnable game. They've just lost in the FA Cup, so how will they be feeling on a Wednesday night? How many fans are they going to bring? Who knows? But you know, the way we celebrated in that last goal, I think everyone will be up for it again.
Yeah.
And then obviously after that we've got Norwich away. We don't have a good record at Carrow Road, so be interesting. But I think we can beat Norwich. I think it's there for the taking. I think we can go on another little run. Obviously after that we've got, I believe, Liverpool. We've got some other, like Man City as well. Who knows? I think we just take it game by game. I think that's the way Eddie Howe would look at it.
Yeah.
We can't get too ahead of ourselves. But what we can do is we can look at the Premier League table. It's looking a lot healthier now. I believe if we got the draw today, 35 points would have been us safe. We're not mathematically safe, but I've seen the table, and Newcastle are currently 14th now on 37 points. They always say 40 is your magic safety mark, but I can't see where Burnley, Norwich or Watford get anywhere near that. Do you think that Newcastle now safe?
I do. If you think about we're 37 points now, you've got Burnley on 25, Watford on 22, and Norwich on 21. They've only got like a little handful of games left.
Exactly, and I think
not enough time to actually make up those 11 points.
At the end of the day, it's not impossible for them, but I think, given the fact that Burnley have sacked Sean Dyche, and the fact they've dropped more points today, they were obviously winning 1-0. I think they could have won it by more, but unfortunately they've let that slip. The games are running out for Burnley, so we know that. Watford, I think they're a terrible side. I think they'll go down, and I think Norwich as well, as much as they're battling, I think they'll go as well. I think Everton will probably just do enough to stay up. As much as I want them to go down, it's not going to happen now. But yeah, I feel like the last couple of results have pretty much kept us, safe for another season. It's good now that Eddie Howe can now build for another Premier League campaign. Obviously, mathematically, we're not quite there yet. But as I said, I can't see where the bottom 3 or the current bottom 3, get to 37 points. Even if we were to draw today and we went on 35, I just can't see the bottom 3 getting anywhere near that. I think if they're lucky, Norwich will get about 25, 26 points. Watford are capable of getting about 27, 28. And I think Burnley will probably get about 31, 32. Again, I don't think that's enough. I could see Everton probably going above 32 points. But yeah, I think it's been a good day all round. I think it's a vital 3 points, and as I said, we didn't play well today by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying we deserved it, I just think at the end of the day, we've had a bit of slice of luck in the 90th minute, you know, in the last, 20, 30 seconds, whatever it was. And we've put the ball in the back of the net. I think, would you agree with that?
I agree with that, yeah.
And I was so set on a 1-1 draw because even in part of that second half, like, fans were just streaming out after like 80 minutes, and I don't blame them in a way. Maybe it's because they want the bank holiday drinks, but more of the fact that the game was going nowhere. There was no real quality in it. In terms of Leicester, I actually thought they were very poor this afternoon. I don't think any of their fans could disagree with that. And I've seen a few comments of, they've played their reserves, this, that and the other, and that's utter bollocks. If you look at who they've actually had on their pitch today, even Perez, you know, he was scoring goals for fun in the second half of the season for us many moons ago. I thought he was poor today. I thought, obviously, the Thierry Mons, he's not great. He's a good player, but he's not doing it for Leicester this season. They can talk about tiredness, they can talk about this, they can talk about that. I think defensively they were poor again today. You obviously question Rodgers. I think second half they could have done a bit more with the ball when they had it. Obviously Madison come on a bit too late. And as said, I feel like we were set for the 1-1 draw, and I would have taken it because I said Leicester are a half decent side, but we've stuck in there right to the end, and I've said Bruno with the winner. And I said I'm still speechless about it now because it's happened so late in the game. But I said that everyone was jumping up and down. It was just a magical moment.
The atmosphere was elastic, wasn't it?
Electric.
Electric, yeah. It's amazing to watch just the whole stadium just light up, like the cheering. The Leicester fans were like literally,
because they were literally slating us all game, saying, "Is this a library? You're this, you're that."
Quick they had gone quiet.
In the minute we scored as well, they were gone. I mean,
disappeared.
1 minute was scored, the next minute they're gone. So it's just a case of it's karma, isn't it, in a way? But as I said, it's nice to know that we're on the right side of the late winners, because normally it's against us. And as I said, it's 5 straight home wins for the first time since 2019. So there's a stat for you. It's always good when you've got positive stats. And there's another stat for you. Newcastle staying up. No club has ever gone 14 games without a win and stayed in the Premier League. And we're doing it quite comfortably the way this season is now ending and panning out in the table wise. But I said I was jumping up and down, couldn't believe it. You were pretty much doing the same.
I was, yeah.
And I said it was just absolute carnage. Like it was mad. Like last so many seconds, and obviously it was the last kick of the game. So had Bruno not stuck that in the back of the net, would have been a goal kick Leicester. Schmeichel takes it, and it's a 1-1 draw. So we've obviously turned 1 point into another 2 points into 3 points. So it's kind of a for me it's a relief that we've actually got another win at home. But I said Bruno's definitely my man of the match. Is Bruno your man of the match? You sticking with that?
He's definitely my man of the match.
And by the way, what's your quick thoughts been on Eddie Howe so far? You know, since he's taken over, do you think he's done a really good job? I think he has, and I think he deserves a lot of credit.
I think that too. Look where the guys were before he came, and look where he's got them now.
9 wins. 9 wins.
9 wins, and what? It's not really known that, is it? For being near the bottom of relegation to be now near 13th, 14th. I think we're only 3 points away from being 10th, 11th.
Obviously, goal difference with obviously Brighton and Leicester being better wise. But
I do think Eddie Howe's been amazing. I think
been fantastic.
That's what the guys needed. He gave them a clean slate when he first came into the team, and the guys are showing it, and they're showing the true potential.
They're playing for the club. They're playing for the badge.
And Eddie's playing in the right positions as well. Like,
look at Joe Linton's been fantastic, hasn't he?
He has improved. He has his moments, Joe Linton, where he does come off the gas pedal, shall I say? He's a bit like little
bit lethargic. I think most players are like that, aren't they?
But then again, could I run around the pitch for 90 minutes? No.
I'd like to think so. If you're getting 60, 70 grand a week, I would expect you to.
Well, I couldn't. So I can understand, the players will get tired, but there's just, you need to keep an eye on the game and don't lose focus, because when you lose focus, what happens?
Well, you're doing stupid stuff and you're conceding goals. But no, we have defensively become a lot better, and anyhow we're more structured in what we're doing. As said, if they're making mistakes, Eddie Howe teaches them on the training ground, and they're better players for it. They don't have much days off, which is a good thing in a way, because Steve Bruce was giving them too much of that. But yeah, as said, he's been amazing, and as said, 9 wins proves what he's done. As said, it's just been a great day. I hope you've enjoyed this debate video. If you do, please hit the like button and let me know what you think of it down below in the comment section. That really means a lot. And what have you made of your first one, Joanna? Coming on the channel, like talking about the club and talking about the actual game. Would you come back on?
Oh, I'll definitely come back on. Now I know the game a bit more because I've had Sharky here teaching us.
She's learning. She's learning.
Quick.
Trust her, she's learning very quickly.
But I would definitely come back and put my opinions and thoughts across whenever I'm welcomed.
Oh, you're welcome on this channel anytime.
Exactly.
Anytime. But yeah, as said, that is the debate. It's finished at St James's Park. Newcastle United 2, Leicester City 1. Bruno Guimaraes, the Brazilian magician, strikes again, sending the Foxes home with a tail
between the legs.
Whatever the saying is. And yeah, we'll send them packing, and we'll move on to Crystal Palace on Wednesday night. I don't think Joanna will be on the debate for that one, but you never know, I might be able to get her on next week if we can talk about the game after against Norwich. We'll be back for that one. But in terms of, I said, the more content will be coming back on the channel. Again, it'll be phased out. But yeah, as said, thank you so much for watching if you have at this point, and we'll be seeing you in the next one.